All right, it's 4th of July, 2023, and from the driveway shop, I am working on, guess what? Haha, my British car. How about that? Yeah, I've got a shroud for the radiator I need to install. So, here we go. Da, 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 da. Okay, I've got the shroud in place at the moment. It's just zip tied down here on both sides, but it holds it well enough in place. I've got a rat's nest there I need to clean up, but I've got the wires that run across the top there under the nose. I've got it installed, obviously. The question is, how much clearance am I going to have? And the nose right there, what is it going to do? I'm afraid. It's patterned after a factory one, but I'm afraid that it's going to scrunch something. It's going to crunch into something. Bind up, squeeze, rub through those wires. I don't know. You get the idea. So let's see what happens. I'm going to put the bonnet down. Alright, I've got it zip tied in place. I just wanted to test it for fit. But you can see it's that angle right up there. Yeah, there's my finger. That angle right there is the shroud. In the grill, it's got the centerpiece here, and there are wires that run up behind it. They go from the wiring harness to the headlights and the well, yeah. Anyway, everything runs up there and across the inside under here. And it feels like it is right on that wiring harness. So I may need to pop it out and make a minor adjustment to the nose of that thing. Action shot. Bring it over here to the workbench. Alright, I think I'll buzz a little bit of that off with the death wheel. So here we go. Alright, I believe this is aluminum. Yeah, it feels like it. And I've hit that with a heat gun. It's been powder coated. So I'm going to have to hit that with a little bit of a heat gun and get that loose powder to stick back down. And then just paint it or something. But this is an aluminum shroud that a bunch of us on the Triumph Experience forum a number of years ago did a group buy. Bought them from a guy in England that makes them, and so far it looks really good. I've been sitting on it for a while trying to wonder how to hook this in. It's got the 2 holes at the top and 2 at the bottom for it to mount in. However, my car currently does not have the side shields. And the biggest reason I opted not to go with them yet is my alternator AC Delco single wire. I mean, it would be nice to have it. I've got my wire harness just sitting down here. I'm thinking about it. I'm just trying to figure out exactly how I could make it work. But it runs across here and then has the angle that shoots across over and holds up the top. So it fastens at the bottom, fastens at the top, but the top does not fasten to the radiator. So I'm contemplating how to do that. Otherwise, if it's just fastened at the bottom, it's going to be flipping and flopping around. So I'm probably going to make a bracket that runs straight up and then self-tapping screw into the side. Or maybe just an L bracket at the top. I don't know yet. But that's the thought. Anyway, as I was saying, my alternator is too big and that rail would get in the way. So I don't have side shields for it at the moment. I may eventually get them, but that's a different story. Anyway, on with the project. Piece of angle iron scrap I've got. It's powder coated gray. It might stay that way, but I'll probably paint it black. All right, now the question is, how will it work? All right, that's right about where it's going to sit. Just need to place that in there. Run self-tappers into the radiator and then into the side flange there. Now, before anybody goes and busts my chops about running a self-tapping screw into the side of the radiator, this cap is not part of the sealed system. You can see we've got about that much depth before I hit the fins, so I should be just fine. Should be. With that in mind, I'll probably drill it and get some shorter screws or run the self-tapper through a little bit and then buzz the end of it off, just because it's right at the length of my self-tappers. There's always a way. Now the other thing, let's check clearance on the nose of that thing. Ease it down. Remember, folks, the latch is not a lifting handle. You could develop cracks here. Lift and lower by the wheel well. 2 people if you can. All right, let's have a look-see. All right, just above that white connector, you can see the black and the yellow. Just a little tiny bit of yellow with a zip tie there. That's where the nose of it comes down. Maybe I could buzz a little more off of it. All right, I've got these prepped, drilled, painted. You're just going to go on these, just like that. Might be a little overkill, but it'll work. Alright, at the moment I've only got 4 sets of those, and I obviously need 8. So I'll put these on for locating, and then I'll move 1 set down with the full intent of getting another set later, and I'll probably forget. So let's get moving. Alright, I'm not sure how well this video is going to work. How much you'll see. But first of all, zip tie this bugger in place. I don't know if zip tying's a good idea, but it'll do, I think. Second thought, that's going to hold it nice and tight. Let's get in there and have a look. There we go. I think that'll work. A couple of screws there. Put a bolt down there. Should be what we need. Let's move this one down. Didn't think I put any force on that. Oh man, that hole's too small. Either I need a smaller bolt, or I need to get in there and drill that bigger. I think I'll just get a smaller bolt. So this will just work up here. It'll flop around when I drive it and make a horrible racket. And that's okay. And it may not make much of a racket after all. It feels pretty secure. And like my extension, it keeps falling off. Alright, one last peek. Here we go. That's pretty solid. I like the way that turned out. And there's the shroud. An aluminum black powder coated shroud instead of that paper one. I've never had one on here. So, who knows what it's going to be like. Guess I'll find out. One project is to figure out the hose routing from the air cleaner down to the shroud. I'll have to drill some holes and figure that out, but that's another project. And there's the undershot. Looks a lot better. Well, I guess that does it from the driveway shop. It's one more project down that I've been meaning to get to. One more thing off the shelf. I guess we'll see how it works. And from driveway shop, have a safe 4th. Keep all 10 of your fingers. And there you go. We'll see you next time.